Hello and welcome back to the Center Court Podcast. I'm Travis Barrett, sports writer at the Kennebec Journal and Morning Sentinel. We have just wrapped up Class A North Championship games for both the boys and the girls. In the girls, no surprise, undefeated Messalonskee 21-0 is a 55-39 winner over Nokomis. Sophie Holmes has 17 points. Allie Turner has 13 points. McKenna Brodeur chips in with 12. And the Eagles really had an easy time with this one. On the boys' side, making it a clean sweep for the school from Oakland. Messalonskee, a 60-41 winner. Nate Violet with 21 points. James Coletsis with a double-double, 13 points and 12 rebounds. And big man Griffin Tuttle with 10 points to lead the Eagles in that one. Just really a big day. It was the first regional title for the boys in school history, and for the Messalonskee girls, it's their first Class A North title since 2009. The Messalonskee girls jumped out quick. They took a 36-7 lead at halftime after leading 19-4 at the end of the first quarter. And head coach Keith Drosby talked about how important a quick start was, especially in these tournament formats.
And that's what we talked about. That first quarter is huge. You know, we won the tip. That was our first goal. Gabrielle doesn't lose many. And then kind of try to get those first couple baskets in that first quarter is tremendous to building momentum. You know teams, any team that gets to this point is good enough to make a run at you. So, how well do you set yourself up ahead of that? So we talked about that.
So the quick start was nice for Drosby. I think even better for Messalonskee certainly has to be the play of Sophie Holmes, a Miss Maine basketball finalist. 17 points, and ironically, she wasn't even at her best in the first half. It was really more in the second half when Nokomis started to kind of make a bit of a run. Nokomis got to within 11 points late in the game, and suddenly it looked like, maybe we have a game here. Nokomis' Chelsea Crockett with 12 points, had a really nice second half. Most of the Warriors had a good second half. But in the end, it was Messalonskee who pulled out the win. And here's Sophie Holmes talking about her day.
It's just absolutely crazy. We all love basketball. We've dreamt about it. I want to win a state championship, and you got to win this game to get there. So it's a big deal for us.
So the Messalonskee girls are off to the state championship game next Saturday, March 4th, right back here at the Augusta Civic Center. They will play the winner of tomorrow's game in the South between number 1 Greeley and number 2 Brunswick. And we are joined now by Kennebec Journal sports writer Drew Bonifant, who covered the game, and we'll get his thoughts on what unfolded here this afternoon.
It was the fast start. They were up 29 points at halftime, and they were just rolling, doing everything. They were making shots from the field, disrupting Nokomis' offense. Nokomis didn't shoot well, but they also didn't have a chance to shoot too many shots. Steals, block shots, rebounds. Messalonskee was doing it all. Fast starts. That's what they've been doing all season.
How surprised were you by Nokomis in the second half?
I was. I was expecting there to be. I didn't expect it to be, a 7-point second half. It was the first half. Teams tend to step off the gas pedal a little bit, but Nokomis came back more than I expected them to. It was one of those things. You look up at the clock in the fourth quarter. It's 14 points. It gets down to 11. That's a real rally, and to do it against Messalonskee was impressive.
I guess Messalonskee was the best team all year, and probably deservedly is Class A North champions.
Definitely. They were the only ones throughout the season who were not wanting to go that far in terms of pronouncing them champions. They had Keith Drosby, Sophie Holmes the whole time were saying we can lose any night, any team can come here and beat us. But they just beat everybody who came. They beat all comers, beat them convincingly. They were clearly the team to beat coming into this, and they showed why.
So, to nobody's surprise, the Messalonskee girls claimed the regional championship. Best team all year, undefeated. Really didn't face a lot of stiff competition all year, if we're being honest about it. Today, Nokomis put a nice scare to them. I think the bigger surprise was what an easy time the Messalonskee boys had. Beating Oceanside by 20. I don't think anybody saw the number 3 Mariners, who had beaten Messalonskee during the regular season, having such a difficult time. But I think once Messalonskee got going and they got off to a really good start. They led 19-4 after the first quarter, held Oceanside without a field goal in those first 8 minutes. In fact, that drought for Oceanside carried into the second quarter. It wasn't until there were 4.5 minutes left in the first half that Oceanside was able to even hit a shot. It's the first regional title in school history for Messalonskee boys basketball in any class. Nate Violet had 21 points. He was in foul trouble in the first half, didn't play the entire second quarter. Came out 14 points in a huge third quarter. And here's Nate Violet talking about his performance today against Oceanside.
This is my first Northern Maine championship to play in the first half. I didn't really get to play much, so I was so excited to go out there and just stuff on that court. I was excited about it.
Coach said you kept kind of tapping him to get back in there. And
yeah.
With the game going the way it was, though,
I can't complain. Yeah. You know, we were winning the whole time. We're up by 10. You know, I can't say anything. The rest of our guys are playing well, so I can't say, Coach, hey, you know, you didn't put me in the game. There's nothing I can say to him.
Pete McLaughlin was never one who's at a loss for words. And we love Pete here on the podcast. And he also talked about the win today, about what it means to Messalonskee to finally have a regional championship banner that'll be hanging in their gym beginning next season.
This has been a long time coming. 7 years ago, we had a great group of seniors that didn't really know how to win, and we won late and just kind of missed the playoffs there. Second year, we were 2-16, and then the journey began. And Jordan Holmes, Nick Mayo, Travis Stacy, Elijah Steele. There's a massive list of guys. Trevor Getty. I said Nick already, but I mean, there's a lot of guys that have sacrificed for us to be in. Jack Bernacci, Soren Mishu. I mean, there's huge names that have built this program to where it is now. I've been getting Facebook messages from every single one of them, and just Twitter or blowing up my phone. Every single one of them was pulling for us one way or another. Elijah was decked out in full Messo gear down in Boston today to watch the game. There's been a lot of guys that have wanted this to happen, that have bled for Messalonskee, and I could not. They're a big reason to why we're here. And then these guys, watching them, growing up with them, these guys were babies when I took over this program, and they grew up wanting this. And to start the year, to have the losses we did, to listen to me for you know how I am, to listen to me for an entire season. I challenge them and I hold them to huge expectations, and I could not be more proud.
Morning Sentinel sports writer Travis Lazarczyk was covering the game for us today, and he joined us to talk about what he thought the biggest key was to this season and to this game, this big championship win for the Messalonskee Eagles. Two things I thought were key. Messalonskee got off to a fast start, and then Violet just explodes for 14 points in the third quarter.
Yeah, you could tell Violet, he had to sit the entire second quarter with 2 fouls, just itching to get back out there, put the team back on his shoulders. A 4-point play, which is very rare in high school. They're up 20 at the end of the third quarter, and like Nate Violet said, that's when they realized we're going to win this game.
And I think the other key for them was the play of their bigs. That's the most impressive I've seen them all season.
Yeah, their bigs, Griffin Tuttle, Cole Wood, and Trevor McRae, combined scored 18 points, and they kept Oceanside's inside game it was non-existent. Oceanside got 0 field goals from Nate Ray, 0 field goals from Sam Atwood, 0 field goals from Mike Norton. You do that, you're going to beat Oceanside, because those are 3 very talented scorers.
Yeah, that's a pretty impressive number considering Norton was so good against Coney the other night.
Right.
I asked Drew about the Messalonskee girls. I feel like they were a deserved Class A North champion. Are the Messalonskee boys the team you thought would be the Class A North champion, either when the season started or the tournament started?
Well, the season started, the KVAC coaches poll had them number 1. And so, yeah, you figured they got a shot at it. Then they lose a couple close games to Hamden and Oceanside and finish the regular season 13-5. I thought they had a chance in this just because I'd seen them play enough where if they get hot like they did in all 3 games in this tournament, they could make a run. I think Gardner coach Jason Cassidy even said that when I talked to him about the region as a whole in the preview last week. He said, look, Messalonskee was the preseason favorite. If they get going, they can win this.
Yeah, in Class A North, I thought this tournament really was a tournament about matchups.
Yes.
I think you could have had any combination of these teams play and you might not have had the same results.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Skowhegan was a tough matchup for Monadnock Valley. They upset the number 1 undefeated seed. And then Skowhegan comes within a minute or so of upsetting this Messalonskee team, down 5 with, a minute to go, give or take. Yeah. And they rally and win it in overtime. Number 7 Coney knocks off a good number 2 Hamden team. It was just a pretty balanced conference tournament, which was kind of like what the KVAC was all season.
So with that, Friday afternoon here at the Augusta Civic Center is wrapped up. Congratulations to both the Messalonskee girls and the Messalonskee boys. Class A North regional champions for both. We will be back tomorrow with another podcast. Again, centralmaine.com/sports. Ton of coverage. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. Live in-game reaction and analysis. And certainly follow our Facebook page for live post-game interviews throughout the remainder of the tournament. I'm Travis Barrett. This is the Center Court Podcast. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.